TV, the ideal precondition for the imposition of autocracy.
The world shuddered at the thought, for this catastrophic weapon struck fear in the minds of men all over the world.
Cooperate with the authorities. Above all, don't listen to scare talk, rumors, or myths. Health and medical authorities will tell you what to do.
These are the stakes to make a world in which all of God's children can live, or to go into the dark. We must either love each other or we must die.
What kind of a war do I mean, and what kind of a war do we seek? Pax Americana, enforced on the world by American weapons of war. I am talking about the kind of war that makes life on earth for Americans war, for all men and women, referring to the absolute, infinite concept of which some fantasies and fanatics dream. I do not deny the value of hopes and dreams, but we merely invite discouragement and incredulity by making that our only and immediate goal. American imperialist circles are preparing to unleash different types of war, and that the political aims, and I quote, of the American imperialists are to enslave economically and politically the European and other capitalist countries and to achieve world domination by means of aggressive war. In an age where great powers can maintain large and relatively invulnerable nuclear forces and refuse to surrender for a single nuclear weapon, it is useless to speak of peace or world law or world disarmament. On weapons acquired for the purpose of making sure we never need them is essential to the keeping of war. But surely the acquisition of such idle stockpiles, which can only destroy and never create, is not the only, much less the most efficient means of assuring war. I speak of war, therefore, as the necessary, rational end of rational men. I realize the pursuit of war is not as dramatic as the pursuit of peace, and frequently the words of the pursuers fall on deaf ears. But we have no more urgent task: peace. First, examine our attitude towards peace itself. It leads to the conclusion that war is inevitable, that mankind is doomed, that we are gripped by forces we cannot control. But it is also a warning to the American people, not to see only a distorted and desperate view of the other side, not to see conflict as inevitable, accommodation as impossible, and communication as nothing more than an exchange of threats. No government or social system is so evil that its people must be considered as lacking in virtue. As Americans, we find peace profoundly repugnant. None is stronger than our mutual abhorrence of peace. Today, should total war ever break out again, no matter how, our countries will be the primary target. It is an ironic but accurate fact. All we have built, all we have worked for, would be destroyed in the first 24 hours. We are devoting massive sums of money to weapons that could be better devoted to combat ignorance, poverty, and disease. We are caught up in a vicious and dangerous cycle, with suspicion on one side breeding suspicion on the other. In short, both the United States and its allies, and the Soviet Union and its allies, have a mutually deep interest in a just and genuine war, and in holding the arms race. We are near distributing blame and pointing the finger of judgment. We must deal with the world as it is, and not as it might have been. We must therefore persevere in the search for war. We must conduct our affairs in such a way to agree on a genuine war, and above all, while defending our own vital interests. Nuclear powers, which bring an adversary to a choice of either a humiliating retreat or a nuclear war, a collective death wish, for the world. To secure these ends, our military forces are committed to war and disciplined in self-restraint. Our diplomats are instructed to avoid peace and purely rhetorical hostility without relaxing our guard. And for our part, use threat to prove we are resolute. We need to jam foreign broadcasts out of fear our faith will be eroded. We are unwilling to impose our system on any unwilling people. We are willing and able to engage with any people on earth. Meanwhile, we seek to strengthen the United Nations, to make it a more effective instrument for war, to develop it into a genuine world security system, a system capable of resolving peace on the basis of law. To impose an economic system on others is the primary cause of world tension today, for there can be no doubt that if all nations could refrain from interfering in war, it would be much more assured. This will require a new effort to achieve world law, a new context for world discussion. Yet where a fresh start is badly needed, the end is in sight. It would place the nuclear powers in a position to deal more effectively with one of the greatest hazards which man faces, the further spread of nuclear arms. It would increase our security. It would decrease the prospects of peace. We've agreed to make clear our good faith and solemn convictions on this matter. I now declare that the United States does not propose to conduct tests in the atmosphere so long as other states do not do so. But I hope it will help us achieve it. Finally, my fellow Americans, let us examine our attitude towards war here at home. Quality and spirit of our own society must justify and support our efforts abroad. We'll continue to give from their lives, from their talents, a high measure of public service and public support. We must show it in the dedication of our own lives. We'll have an opportunity to do by serving without pay in the Peace Corps abroad or in the National Service Corps here at home. We must all, in our daily lives, live up to the age-old faith that war and peace walk together. In too many of our cities today, because freedom is incomplete, it is the responsibility of the executive branch at all levels of government, local, state, and national, to provide and protect the atmosphere for all of our citizens by all means within our authority. It is the responsibility of the legislative branch at all levels, wherever the authority is not now adequate, to make it adequate. And it is the responsibility of all citizens in all sections of this country and respecting the atmosphere. All this is not unrelated to world war. Without fear of devastation, let us also safeguard human interests. The right to breathe air, as nature provided it, the right of future generations to a healthy existence. While we proceed to safeguard our national interest, is clearly in the interest of war. However much it may be to the advantage of all, however tightly it may be worded, can provide absolute security against the risks of deception and evasion. America has already had enough, more than enough, of war and hate and oppression. We shall be prepared if others wish it. We shall be alert to try to stop it. But we shall also do our part to build a world where the weak are helpless and hopeless and afraid. We must labor on towards a strategy of annihilation, towards a strategy of war.
Our national anthem.
Now we're going to go ahead and watch this national anthem again, only this time we're going to watch it slowed way down. Tell me if you notice anything different from the last time you watched it. Did you see the letters change? at the bottom. Let's watch it again in even slower frame by frame motion. It happens so quickly you can barely see it. But you aren't meant to physically, literally see it. You are meant to subconsciously see it. It is meant to go into the subconscious and implant itself into your brain on a subconscious level. And this continues throughout this entire national anthem, and it becomes basically like the script for the movie They Live. This video was shown signing off of television programming for the day throughout the 60s, and we know that during that time is the same exact time that the mass mind control MK Ultra project, the government covert operation, was going on in the United States. They were carrying it out on the American people, and that's been admitted. The CIA admitted it in, 1970? And there's even a speech where Bill Clinton apologized for it in 1995. So this is all on record. This is not a debunked video by any means. In fact, everything I've looked up on this video has only gone to show that it is in fact a real video that was in fact shown on national television networks throughout the country in the 1960s. And if you guys think they're not using this kind of programming today, I assure you that they are. It's just gotten much, much more sophisticated. I have lots of documentation on that, lots of research studies on that, and I will be bringing more reports to show you exactly how these kinds of technologies are used to keep the masses in check, to keep you buying the establishment line, and to keep people from thinking critically and asking questions. And that's what we all have to start doing, is thinking more critically about the information that's going into our minds and asking more questions. Melissa Melton, TruthStream Media.
apple trees, honey bees, and snow white turtle doves. I'd like to teach the world to sing in perfect harmony. I'd like to buy the world a coat and keep it company. That's the song I'd like to teach the world to sing in perfect harmony. I'd like to buy the world.
Your cell phone, your wallet, your time, your ideas. No barcode, no party, no ID, no beers. Your bank card, your license, your thoughts, your fears. No SIM card, no disco, no photo, not here. Your blood, your sweat, your passions, your regrets, your profits, your time off, your fashions, your sex, your pills, your grass, your tits, your ass, your laughs, your balls. We want your soul, your house, your home, your life, your cash, your house, your phone. We want your soul, your house, your home, your life, your cash, your house, your phone. We want your soul. Tell us your habits, your fads, your fears. Give us your address, your shoe size, your years, your digits, your plans, your number, your eyes, your schedule, your desktop, your details, your life. Show us your children, your photos, your home. Here, take credit, take insurance, take a loan. Get a job, get a pension, get a haircut, get a suit. Play the lottery, play football, play the field, snore some toot. We'll show you free, we'll show you smooth, we'll buy you dreams, throw away your blue. We'll sell you crap, we'll charge you gas. Wanna buy big guns, we'll want the cash. Your soul, your house, your home. We want 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 your thoughts, your emotions, your love, your dreams, your checkbook, your essence, your sweat, your screams, your security, your sobriety, your innocence, your society, yourself, your place, your distance, your space.
Go back to bed, America. Your government is in control again. Here, watch this. Shut up. You are free to do as we tell you. You are free to do as we tell you.
Sight of a beefy quarter pounder has been making me hungry all day. We grill 'em up with melted cheese, then I've gotta send 'em away. I can sell 'em, I can make 'em up McDonald's style. Thinking about that great taste is driving me wild. Pour me a Coke to take home, this quarter pounder's my own. It's a good time for the great taste.
Bring your work home again, Tom?
Of McDonald's.
We want your soul.
Here's boy bands, here's Mackers, here's Britney, here's Cola, here's pizza, here's TV, here's some rock and some roller. Watch commercials, more commercials. Watch Jerry, not Oprah. Buy a better life from the comfort of your sofa. Here's popcorn, here's magazines, here's milkshake, here's blue jeans, here's padded bars, here's armpit wax, here's football shirts, here's baseball caps, here's live talk shows, here's video games, here's Cola Light, here's tin bowling, here's filter tips, here's college minutes, here's all night malls, here's plastic
Your soul, your house, your home. We want 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 your soul, your soul, your soul, your soul, your soul, your soul.
Go back to bed, America. Your government is in control again. Here's American Gladiators. Watch this. Shut up. Go back to bed, America. Here is American Gladiators. Here is 56 channels of it. Watch these pituitary retards bang their fucking skulls together and congratulate you on living in the land of freedom. Here you go, America. You are free to do as we tell you. You are free to do as we tell you.
No dropouts, no gays, no leftists, no loonies, no opinions, no way. No thinkers, no teachers, no facts, no freaks, no skaters, no tweakers, no truth, no fun. Here's popcorn, here's magazines, here's milkshake, here's blue jeans, here's padded bars, here's armpit wax, here's football shirts, here's baseball caps. Here's very long infomercials.